Dear students, very good morning. Welcome back to lesson number 1, A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise, written by Rabindranath Tagore. We see a man who never believed in mere utility. He indulged in all useless work because of his mad whims and fancies. This man was taken up to heaven by the mistake of aerial messenger. He was taken up to workers' paradise. In the workers' paradise, we find everything except leisure. There is no free time. Everyone is busy with their own works, both men and women. They have no time to spare. Time was so precious for them. At the end of the day, it gave him a lot of joy and happiness. But the man who came to workers' paradise, who spent all his life on earth without doing a scrap of useful work, enters here and goes around lingering, lying down on meadows and the fast flowing streams, and the farmers were really distracted and disturbed. He sees a girl who was dynamic and very quick enough for everything, who came to silent torrent to fetch water every day. The girl was very simple. She had no time to comb her hair. Her hair was carelessly done because she did not pay much attention to her beauty, because work was everything for her. She has seen this man standing alone by the stream. She was moved with compassion. She feels like a princess asking a lonely beggar with a pity and to give him some work. When she asks him whether you want to do some work, he says, I haven't a moment to spare for any work. But the girl did not understand this. Here we had stopped yesterday. We will continue. We read. The man replied, Girl of the silent torrent, all this time I have been waiting to take some work from your hands. What kind of work would you like? Will you give me one of your pictures, one of that you can spare? She asked, A picture? You want to draw water from the torrent? No, I shall draw pictures on your picture. The girl was annoyed. Pictures? Indeed, I have no time to waste on such as you. I am going. And she walked away. This is a wonderful conversation taking place between the idle man and the bustling girl. The man replies, I have been waiting for some work from your hands. I thought you would give me some work from your hands. And the girl says, What kind of work would you like? And the man asks, Give one of your pictures, one of that you can spare. The girl did not understand. She asked, A picture? You want to draw water from the torrent? No, I shall draw pictures on your picture. The girl was really angry. What nonsense you are talking. Pictures, indeed. I have no time to waste on such as you. I am going. And she went away. She was not willing to give the picture to the man who asked her that he wanted to do some artwork on the picture. Let us read. But how could a busy person get the better of one who had nothing to do? Every day they met, and every day he said to her, "Girl of the silent torrent, give me one of your clay pictures. I shall draw pictures on it." This is a beautiful conversation between the girl and the man. The man every time insisted that she should give the clay pictures to him so that he would draw pictures on it. Let us read. She yielded at last. She gave him one of her pictures. The man started painting. He drew line after line. He put color after color. When he had completed his work, the girl held up the picture and stared at its side, her eyes puzzled. Since the man was consistently asking for the picture and requested the same repeatedly, the girl had to give at last. The young man painted the picture with a variety of lines and mysterious colors. The girl took it up, turned it around, and asked what it meant. She was wonderstruck with surprise. Let us read. Brows drawn, she asked, "What do they mean, all those lines and colors? What is their purpose?" The man laughed. "Nothing. A picture may have no meaning and serve no purpose." Since the man was asking the torrent girl consistently, requesting her for the picture, as she handed over the clay pot, he drew beautiful lines and with colors after colors. When the girl took that picture, she stared at its sides, turned this side, that side, and she was in a trance. She was so much puzzled and surprised, she could not understand what it all meant. And she asked him, "What is their purpose?" And the man just laughed at it and said, "Nothing. A picture may have no meaning in itself and serve no purpose." Let us read. The girl went away with her picture. At home, away from prying eyes, she held it in the light, turned it round and round, and scanned the painting from all angles. At night, she moved out of bed, lighted a lamp, and scanned it again in silence. For the first time in her life, she had seen something that had no meaning and no purpose at all. The girl carried the picture back home and she held it up in different lights and tried to figure out its mystery. At night, she leaves her bed, lights a lamp, and gazes at it from all points of view because she could not understand what this beautiful painting meant. This was the first time she had touched upon something which had no meaning or purpose at all. Let us read. When she set out for the torrent the next day, her hurrying feet were a little less hurried than before. For a new sense seemed to have awakened in her, a sense that seemed to have no meaning and no purpose at all. As usual, the girl goes to the silent torrent to fetch water, but now her hurrying feet were less hurried than before. She was always so quick, agile, and dynamic person, but now she had become a little bit slow. She also understands or comes to a sense that had dawned on her, a new perspective altogether. How could there be things without any purpose or without any meaning at all? Let us read. She saw the painter standing by the torrent and asked in confusion, "What do you want of me?" The girl was already in confusion because she did not understand the mystery of the painting. How could there be something without any meaning or any purpose? Seeing the man, she asked him what he wants of her again. Let us read. Only some more work from your hands. What kind of work would you like? Let me make a colored ribbon for your hair, he answered. And what for? Nothing. When she sees the painter standing all alone at the torrent, she asks him what he wants of her. And the man says, I would like to do some more work for you, or I would like to get some more work from your hands. And she replied, what kind of work would you like? And he answers, let me make a colored ribbon for your hair. Hearing that, she answers, for what? He said, for nothing. Let us read. Ribbons were made bright with colors. The busy girl of a worker's paradise had now to spend a lot of time every day tying the colored ribbon around her hair. The minutes slipped by unutilized. much work was left unfinished. The idle man who was in workers' paradise started making the variety, the bright colors of ribbons for the busy girl. But now the busy girl had to spend considerable time every day to tie colored ribbon around her hair. A lot of time got wasted and much work was left unfinished. She herself became very slow in her attitude and behavior. Let us read. In workers' paradise, work had of late begun to suffer. Many persons who had been active before were now idle, wasting their precious time on useless things such as painting and sculpture. Workers' paradise was known for its hurried works without any leisure. People worked morning till evening with a lot of joy and happiness. But now, finally, the work began to suffer in workers' paradise. Many inmates infected with young man's mad whims began to waste their time on painting, sculpture, and easy going. Let us read. The elders became anxious. A meeting was called. All agreed that such a state of affairs had so far been unknown in the history of the workers' paradise. The area manager hurried in, bowed before the elders, and made a confession. I brought a wrong man into this paradise, he said. It's all because of him. Now the work has been disturbed here in workers' paradise. Many people, those who are working hard with a lot of productivity and purpose, now became lazy, idle, inactive. It had totally affected the workers' paradise. The elders were in serious trouble and they wanted to have a meeting called the council to resolve this issue. They were also wonderstruck that this kind of things never happened in the history of workers' paradise. Meanwhile, the aerial messenger hurriedly arrived and confessed that he had mistakenly brought in the wrong man to the workers' paradise. It's all because of him that all these things had taken place. He asks their forgiveness and excuses. Let us read. The man was summoned. As he came, the elders saw his fantastic dress, his quaint brushes, his paints, and they knew at once that he was not the right sort for workers' paradise. The young man was called to the council. As he came in, the elders saw his brilliant and fantastic dress with a number of brushes and paints in his hand, and they realized that he is not meant to be or is not fit here for the workers' paradise. A man who does things without any productivity, without any usefulness. Stiffly, the president said, "This is no place for the like of you. You must leave." The elders and the chief and the president of the workers' paradise gathered for a meeting to take some decisions on this idle man who was really troubled the workers' paradise. They said, "This is no place for the like of you. You must leave at once." The president asked the idle man that this is not a fitting place for him, that he should leave the place at once. Let us read. The man was summoned. As he came, the elders saw his fantastic dress, his quaint brushes, his paints, and they knew at once that he was not the right sort for workers' paradise. The young man was called to the council. As he came in, the elders saw his brilliant and fantastic dress with a number of brushes and paints in his hand, and they realized that he is not meant to be or is not fit here for the workers' paradise. A man who does things without any productivity, without any usefulness. Let us read. The elders gasped in surprise. Never before had a thing like this happened in the workers' paradise, a thing that had no meaning and no purpose at all. The elders and the council and the president were really in great surprise and puzzled because they have never seen such a thing happening in the workers' paradise. A thing that had no meaning and no purpose at all. Here, the lesson comes to an end with a message that one idle person, how he could influence the whole workers' paradise. If you have any doubts, any clarification, you are most welcome to ask me. God bless you. Have a nice day.